watching GEM, Connecting Lives.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Van Schemelhout. In a world where events impact our lives, what events awaken your soul? Today, we'll share with you some of the most life-altering experiences of ordinary people with extraordinary faith, the kind of faith that rescues, strengthens, and provides. Welcome to Stories of Faith. It's an exciting time when two people decide to share the rest of their lives together. So much effort is put into planning the wedding, embracing a whole new family, and finding a place to call home. We could probably say that the couple we'll meet next did all that. In fact, they had everything perfectly planned out. So when the unexpected happened, they got the biggest shock of their lives. This is their story.
This past January was the right time for us. You know, with things seemingly more settled since she finished school, and I was doing pretty good at work, and everything seems to be stable.
And I started working as well.
And she started working, and it was like, okay, it was coming together. Yeah, everything was coming together like it should, like what you would think how things should happen.
When I pulled up into the parking lot, I saw the front porch of my apartment, and it was all black. And then this just kind of like denial came over me, like, wait a minute, maybe it's not as bad as it looks outside. When they took me to the back of the building, I saw that it was just covered with black smoke everywhere. And I knew, okay, I lost everything.
So this is our master bedroom. What's left of it. The way the fire spread, it went through the back and the front, so if we had been sleeping, we wouldn't have been able to get out.
It just kind of took me by surprise, and I was a little shocked and depressed and all these different emotions when I saw her wedding dress just sitting there on the floor, kind of burnt and melted with the plastic, and you know, it was just very disheartening.
Yeah. We worked really hard in getting situated in our apartment and getting comfortable, and then to know it just all went away in just a couple of hours was very depressing.
That I never wore.
Everything else burned,
yeah,
except for certain little
except
things.
for the hymnal. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that did
Yeah.
not burn in our master bedroom.
Yeah.
This is all everything's okay. It's just the outer part.
All of this stuff is gone, but you still have your hymnal, you still have your duty, you still have your life.
It was comforting to know that when I went to church, that, you know, even though there's a lot of turmoil and trials outside there in the world, that there's some solace in everything, and God will be there to help us through these tough times. It's been trying at times. You go through a lot of emotions, depression, thankfulness, and happy that you find some little trinket out of the entire mess. And then other times you just like, gosh, well, but we lost everything. But then you think, oh, we didn't lose everything. We still have each other, and we still have our faith in our lives.
Yeah, the material things are gone, but I still have my husband, and we still have a whole life ahead of us, and many more happy moments to come. And how can that not make me stronger?
This leads us to our next story. We'll meet a man who did not let one of nature's greatest disasters turn him into a victim.
I'm Brother Chito Pascual. I'm a registered nurse in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm one of the survivors of Hurricane Katrina. The hurricane struck New Orleans Sunday afternoon. They knocked at every door. They said, you need to go back to the hospital because the levees broke. Water is coming into the city within a few hours. We stayed in the hospital since Saturday to Wednesday afternoon. Straight. Working 16 hours a day without electricity, without water. We're working at a night shift, so basically we're using and we're giving medicines with flashlights. The hospital doesn't have any oxygen at all. We don't have water, we don't have electricity. They're giving foods for the patient and for the staff twice a day. All the emergency nurses except me left the hospital. All the respiratory therapists left the hospital. Why did I stay? It's my obligation for the patients. I cannot leave my patients alone. We are really tired. We're really exhausted. Every moment I'm praying. I said, God, help me. I'm doing this not for myself, but for my patients. We will survive, and you will help me to survive. From the hospital, there was one pump boat that were able to brought us in the west side of the city, that you can go to Houston by driving or walking. By then, we walk in the water, I think it's 4 to 5 feet, something like that. It's just, I think it's 25 or 30 minutes walk. Then we're able to go on the west side. Then from west side, we walk for 4 hours. Yeah, it's a lot of gunshots within the city. While walking, we can hear it. Nobody's talking, everybody's crying. They said, we're lucky we're able to survive. It took us 11 hours to go to Houston. I was finally to get into worship service Thursday at Houston. I'm crying from the first time I entered into the church. I'm crying because I'm living. He saved me. I'm crying because I'm thankful. My only prayer, I said, is thank you for everything. Thank you for being there every time of my life. Everything. And let me survive because He wants me to serve Him. He wants me to continue praising His name. Biggest lesson I have learned from this is always trust God. No matter what's happening around, always trust in His words. Hold on to His words. He will not forsake you.
September 11, 2001 is certainly a day that America will not forget. And for this next group of people, we'll witness how they managed to escape the tragedy of that day. Was it just coincidence, or was it something else? Let's find out.
My name is Fernand Flores. I'm a systems consultant for Morgan Stanley. I work at the second tower or World Trade Center
My name is
#2.
Erlinda Rabano. I work at the Tower 1 of World Trade Center. It's a law firm, Sidley, Austin, Brown and Wood.
My name is Roseanne Parker. I've been a choir member in this locale, thank God, for going on 20 years now. And I worked also with Sister Linda Urbano at the law firm, and I work at the 57th
My name is
floor.
Rosemary Parker. I'm a choir member in the church. I almost had a chance to have a job at a law firm by the name of Cantor Fitzgerald. It was on the 95th floor.
Ako si Phil Benitez. Ako po ay nagtatrabaho sa 7 World Trade
Ako po si
Center.
Teresita Luzraque. Ako po ay nagtatrabaho sa Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield, Tower 11 World Trade Center. Nasa 31st
My name
floor
is
kami that time.
Rocky Pabelor. Tuloy ho ay yung trabaho ko doon sa pinangyarihan ng World Trade Center.
My name is Sinaida Lopez. I work at One World Trade Center on the 98th floor.
My name is Joanne Blanco, and I'm the Human Resources and Office Coordinator at Blink.com.
My name is Zelda Roman.
I'm with the Standard Chartered Bank.
I'm Vijaya Edgerlin, and I work across World Trade Center.
I am Brother Roland Thomas. I work for American International Group. I work as a project director for systems development in Wall Street. The World Trade Center was a very beautiful place, and most of the time during lunch times I used to take a walk there, go by the marina, and then look at the scenes, look at the people, and just basically be a part of it. And it has a lot of impact on me because since the time that the tragedy happened, everything seemed to be surreal.
It was a relatively quiet day for me. It was very normal. Woke up very early, took care of the kids, get them ready for school. Got to work on time, 8:30, and it was basically very, very normal.
I was already in the vicinity around 8:30, but for some reason I walk around and do some window shopping. Then after like quarter to 9, I told myself, let me buy some bagel for my breakfast, and that's only opposite World Trade Center.
Napansin ko kaagad yung aeroplano, pero binaliwala ko yan dahil ako'y umiinom ng kape. Ugaling-ugali ko yun. That is my habit every morning.
I said, something is wrong with that plane, because a lot of people were looking up and thinking that, how come this plane was so low?
Around 8:45, we were working and chatting, and I heard the explosion, and we also felt it. The building actually shook.
It's obviously clear that something has hit the World Trade Center.
Nadinig namin yung impact, nagsigawan ng mga tao. Lahat ng mga taong yan ay nagtakbuhan sila. Kitang-kita mo ang One World Trade Center.
That morning is really unforgettable. Normally, when I go to work, I don't drive my son to school because he's being picked up by a bus. That morning, he woke up very late, and since he was very late, he's going to be late for school and no more school bus coming by. So I said, I'm going to drive you even though I'm late.
Originally, I meant to leave the house at about 7:15 and be at work at about 8 o'clock. Because normally I'm there at 8 o'clock, 8:30, very early. But I guess God said, no, I want you to slow down. So I started watching TV, I started doing little things around the house, and then I realized what time it was. It was almost 8:30.
I was supposed to be on vacation, but I wanted to go back to the office because there's a couple of emergencies and the staff had called me. And then my wife said, well, why do you have to go? So I said, well, I'm not going this Monday, but I'll definitely be coming back 10 o'clock on Tuesday.
I was on my train going to World Trade Center at about 7:35 a.m. Without any traffic, I should be there by 8:30. But the train was late again as usual, and there was like stop and go.
Nung araw na yon, talagang siguro, kumbaga sa binibigyan pa tayo ng pagkakataon ng Diyos na manatili pa rito. Nung araw na yon, turutong nahuli ako.
But as I was sitting on the subway, on the trains, the doors were open because we were in the station, and I heard sirens up above. And I thought, well, 1 or 2 sirens, maybe it's an ambulance or a fire or something. But then I realized, no, it's too many sirens. Something is going on outside.
So I arrived at the World Trade Station at about 5 to 9, and so when I exited the turnstile, the lady said that you cannot go on to the building anymore because there's an explosion.
The building shook. I think that's the thing that got me, is when the building shook. It was very scary. People screamed, smokes all over, it gets dark.
Akala ko po that time earthquake kasi yung building namin nag-shook nag-shake siya. Tapos, sa lakas ng shake niya, halos hindi ka makatidig ng diretso kasi sobrang masyado yung shake.
And we saw the people, they're just like hysterical. They're shouting, they're crying, they're screaming. And when you look at right across the World Trade Center, you'll see literally people jumping.
At saka yung mga ulo pa, makikita mo talaga mga torso na nagbabagsakan. Yun ang kita ko, yung unang hit na yun. Talagang mainit na ataka. Wala nang pag-asa yung mga tao na nandun sa above 94th floor ng One World Trade Center.
And I saw that my building was on fire because I was in One World Trade Center, and I calculated that it's about on my floor, in about 98th floor.
Halos ang puso ko halos hindi ko maano na sa awa ko sa kanila na sabi ko mga inosenteng tao ito na pumasok na para maghanap buhay. Pagkatapos gano'n ang mangyayari na ang dami talaga ng hulog na kita mo parang para silang mga lumilipad kasama ng mga papel, kasama ng mga kuwan na nagliliparan.
Nagkaroon ng commotion sa floor namin. Tapos lahat po tumakbo all the way sa emergency exit. Nag-pray na lang ako, sabi ko, Lord, huwag niyo lang po papabayaan. Basta gawayan niyo na po ako pababa.
We were on a staircase. It was filled with people. It was noisy. You were thousands of feet stammering down.
Actually, it took me some time to go downstairs kasi on my way down, na-meet po ako na isa sa mga co-workers na nasa corner ng stairs. Ay hindi po siya makalakad, kaya niya-approach ko yun, sabi ko tulungan ko siya. Tapos by that time, sinabi niya sa akin na just go. Tapos sabi ko, I'm not going anywhere with you kasi kung iiwanan kita, I'll be guilty for the rest of my life. Tapos sabi niya, no, just go. Tapos umiyak, sabi ko, no, I'm not going anywhere without you. Kaya sabi ko, dahan-dahan lang tayo bumaba. We'll just take it one step at a time. Kaya na-convince ko po siya bumaba kami.
After 15 minutes, yung isang kaibigan ko may sumigaw, meron naman aeroplano. Sabi yung pala, ano saan? Dito makbo naman ako dun sa bintana.
And all of a sudden, as we were looking downstairs and also at the World Trade Center, we see another plane hit the 2 World Trade. And that's when we freaked out because our building is really across the World Trade.
Doon na ako kinabahan na yung sabi ng kaibigan ko, tayo na at tayo na rin. Ako talagang nanginginig na. Yung pag tumakbo na kami, dahil tingnan namin ang paligid sa mga kasamahan namin sa trabaho, ay wala na sila. Yung unang hit pa lang, ay nagtakbuhan na sila. Run for your life!
Till now, I still see the faces of those firefighters like telling us, you'll make it, you'll be okay. And I felt so guilty na until now, na I made it, tapos hindi pala sila. Kasi parang,
Nung ako'y tumatakbo, wala akong nagawang po, hindi takot. Hindi ko na tinitignan yung pinanggalingan ko eh. Ang tinitignan ko na lang kung saan ako pupunta, saan ako mapapasok.
Actually, like, parang nagkaroon ako ng mental block. I can't even remember my home phone number. Kasi all I was thinking is my coworkers na they're still there. I was just like worried that baka hindi nila kayang bumaba.
Hindi ko pa alam na ako'y nakarating na sa istasyon na yun. Hindi pa ako napagod sa takot na siguro yun. Pagkatapos, nakuha ko naman yung train, last train na papuntang Times Square.
You know, I was trying to also locate my husband because my husband also worked downtown. So none of the telephones or cell phones were working.
I went towards there just looking for her and could not find her. All I saw was the redness of the steel, the smoke, black smoke, and people just jumping out of the building. Out of a miracle, one telephone call came into my cell, and it was her. I talked to her, I heard her voice. That's when the sigh of relief actually, I said, oh, thank God, you know, we're both okay.
I'm Brother Richard Ray Rodas. While watching the television right there, and I myself would admit that I was initially shocked right there. But then realizing that it just hit me, what about the brethren? Okay? What about the brethren? Then that's when I come to the telephone and then begin calling all the ministers.
My coworker who was telling me the story, she was there. They went down like probably 40 floors. I can't even go down more than 2 floors without being attacked by my asthma. And by the time I'm gonna pass out, so I'm gonna be buried there for sure. And that's why I'm so thankful that I was not there.
God definitely delivered His promise to me and the rest of my brother and sister during that day. It's hard to explain.
Alam mo, ang pagliligtas sa akin, gawa po ng Panginoon yan. Dahil mahirap na sabihin na gawa-gawa lang ng kahit anong tao.
One by one, the report comes in that one was late from work, the other one took a day off, the other one is on vacation, the others got stuck up in traffic, things like this, various reasons. Imagine 19 people from Long Island City, 3 brothers, should I say 3 brethren from Elizabeth, 3 brethren from Rockland, 2 sisters from Jersey City, 1 from Philadelphia, a total of 28 if I'm not mistaken, and none of them was actually hurt.
Hindi mo masabing coincidence eh. Hindi lang, totoo maraming Pilipino nagtatrabaho ron eh. Pero bakit sa lahat ng kapatid ng walang napinsala kahit sino. Kaya nga sinasabi sa Biblia na pag tunay na lingkod ka ng Diyos, magtiwala ka. Ano ba ang kailangan mo, ililigtas ka. Yun ang nasa puso.
Every time I think about it, even how pragmatic you are in looking at these things, I hate to put numbers on people's lives, but at least 2 could have been really hurt or could have died.
It can only be the work of God. So many people got hurt, so many people, not exactly on the site, but they got trampled because of the people running away from the tragedy. Some got hurt by the falling debris. They're not even on the site, you see, but they just got hurt because of the falling debris. But none of our brothers and sisters got hurt that day. It can only be the work of God.
Nililigtas niya ang mga anak niya kahit saan, anong panganib, kahit ano, kung talagang ikaw ay anak ng Iglesia ni Cristo, iniligtas ka.
If I was not a member of the church, I would be so unlucky to be included in that incident, because my prayer every day is to help me keep going and help me perform my duty. And if ever bad things happen or like a casualty of whatever, as long as I'm inside the church.
Sa totoo, pagka sumasamba ko at naririnig ko yung panalangin na sinabing, Diyos ko, salamat sa iyong mga pag-iingat. Bukat sa akin po si damandama ko yun sapagkat nalama ko kung ganun ang pag-iingat. Hindi lamang sa akin, kundi sa kanyang mga anak.
Pinapalaala sa akin na ang aking buhay ay sa Kanya. At lahat ay sa Kanya. Nanggaling lahat sa Kanya.
And I look upon every day as God's blessing. No matter how big the problems used to be before, everything was trivial. There's not a problem big enough that could deny or mask God's love to all of us.
After Wednesday night, when I finally make my final report to Brother Eranio G. Manalo, and the last brother was found in Long Island City and was safe, only then can you really breathe a sigh of relief that everybody was safe. And I was just simply so thankful.
That 30 of us got away and was shown God's blessing. I can't believe that it's just a stroke of luck or man's luck. I can't believe when people say you were fortunate or you were lucky, I always correct them right away. I said, no, I was blessed.
From the days of Noah, whereby the universal deluge did happen, and his servants got saved, okay, because they are inside the ark. During the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, God's servants were actually taken out by the angel so that they would not be harmed. during the time of so many wars that had happened. God's people had been saved by him in so many times, in so many ways. As it is today, it may be modern era, but it's still the same God that saved the Israelites, that saved Noah, that saved members of the Church of Christ in the first century. It's the same God that is taking good care of his people in these last days.
And to imagine all of us that were late that morning, or we were stranded or stuck, or we didn't get in, for some reason we just decided to take the day off, that's got to be more than luck. It's not man's luck, it's God's blessing. I believe it was God telling us in our hearts and his voice to us not to go where he didn't want us to go. I believe that God saved us because he didn't want any one of us to be there that day, and we weren't.
There is no question that this only further bolsters the reality that this church is the true church. This is where God is. And if man wanted salvation, man wanted God's presence in their life, man wanted God's care and his compassion, they have to be as members of the Church of Christ.
I love New York City because I've been here for a long time. I consider it my home. We're going to try to rebuild, I believe, not just the World Trade Center which was destroyed, but in the same token, we're going to try to edify each other and try to make sure that this thing that happened to us is really nothing, in the sense that we have triumph. And this is actually triumph for each one of us. And those terrorists didn't really win anything at all. And most of all, members of the Church of Christ turned out to be far stronger than any calamity that they could deal out to us. And I always thank God for that.
We couldn't believe that it was happening, especially in New York. I guess also because we're in the United States, we thought that we're pretty untouchable. We thought we were safe, but I guess it just showed us that, anything can happen anywhere.
Life in America will never be the same. This has made fundamental and basic changes, I should say, in the way people here in America would live their lives. If before they take life just for granted, now everybody is thinking that there's danger out there.
Ang nangyari talaga sa akin, napakahirap. Hindi ko talaga matiis yun. At saka hindi ko talaga saka nakikita mo ng mga tao talaga.
Amidst all the problems, amidst all the dangers, no man can ever say that he does not need God. If there is someone that everybody, I say everybody, members of the Church of Christ particularly, and all other people of the world, if they want to be saved, not just simply from this kind of doom that are happening, but more so that the day that is to come, the day of judgment, they need God.
It is really very obvious, the kind of love that was given to us at that point. And it will be a huge loss if they're not going to at least try to be a part of it. Yes, God is willing to wait, but maybe not for long.
Today's episode were stories of survival and strength. These people did not allow their tragedies to define them. Instead, they used it to strengthen them. You've just witnessed the stories of people whose lives may have never crossed paths, but are now linked together simply by their stories of faith. I'm Cynthia Van Schemelhout. Thanks for watching. See you next time.